In part one of our special report last night, we shared the story of Teresa Kieffer and her extremely rare experience as a living double organ donor. Tonight, we meet a Manistee man waiting for a kidney transplant to learn about his journey, what living donors like Teresa mean to people on these long waiting lists, and why we don't see more living transplants in the United States. It's part two of our special report, A Piece of Me, Live Donor Transplants.
They call me the, they're going to laugh at this one. I know the people at dialysis, they call me the poster child.
John Matson first started dialysis in 2009 after he was diagnosed with a blood clotting disease called tetracetic thrombotic perpetua, or TTP for short. In 2011, his wife at the time donated her kidney to him. It worked for 7 years until it began to fail in 2017, putting John back on dialysis and the transplant list in 2018.
They either go in through a catheter through your chest, they call them chest caths, or they go in through like a fistula graft. They take your blood out of your body, put it through a machine, filter it through a dialyzer, which removes all the toxins what your kidney normally did.
3 days a week, 4 hours a day. John needs to have his blood cleaned in order to survive.
And if you don't have a positive attitude at it, it goes downhill quick.
A tough feat knowing the average person in need of a kidney has to wait a long, often frustrating 7 years before they reach the top of the donor list. But living donors can help speed up that process. It's just not very common in the United States. According to the Department of Health and Human Services, only about 23% of kidney transplants came from living donors last year. It's even less for liver transplants.
If you think about it, yes, 5% of the total number of transplants. Well, look at other places around the world. If you look at places like Asia, India, the Middle East, those places, about 90% of the transplants that are done come from a living donor.
Dr. Humar at the University of Pittsburgh Medical Center says the reason behind the difference is quite simple.
Really, the main reason it's not become popularized is because people don't know about it. And the most sort of heart-wrenching things that I hear are when family members come in and they need a liver transplant and they're just too far gone. There's nothing that can be done. It's too late. And you know, their family member says to them, geez, I wish I had known that this was an option.
While John doesn't need a liver, the same concept can be applied. The human body can function with just one kidney, which opens up possibilities for living donors like Teresa.
If there's ever, and with anything in life, you know, with donating an organ or giving something to help somebody, I feel like when we lead with our hearts, you know, you can't go wrong. Do your research and get healthy.
You know, a lot of times you donate or you give something to somebody and you hope that they use it in the right way. When you give something like this to somebody, I can almost guarantee you it's going to get used in the right way.
Teresa, John, and Dr. Humar say it's important to have a strong support system if you do want to consider becoming a donor.
One other thing that I'll add to that, don't worry about the financials if you're a living donor. The recipient's insurance will cover your operation and everything comes after that, kidney-related wise, for the rest of your life.
As for why?
I think the big question is, like, why would you knowingly put yourself through pain or uncertainty or that fear of, you know, not knowing what's going to happen? And if I could, you know, share anything with people, it's like, sometimes just getting through that pain or uncertainty or fear, like, it'll always transform you.
And to give someone like John another chance at a normal life.
That's one less person on the cadaver list. Somebody gets a kidney, that's one less person on dialysis. They're godsends, they're angels from heaven. It's definitely a blessing to be able to find somebody like that. More people I can encourage you to do it, the better off.
We've posted more information on different organ transplant programs and how you can help on 9in10news.com.